Welcome back to Engine Noises. Today we're here again with Tom Strockbine, man. Thanks for having me out again.
Not a problem.
Let's take a ride in this bouncing machine. Like, I remember, and I use this statement a lot. It rides like a sack of potatoes. I'm ready to experience this sack of potato ride.
Let's do it.
Yeah, dude. Like, I hope everybody likes this too. If you ever have the idea of lowering statically, like, this is some of the stuff to expect with it.
Yeah, a rough ride. A rough ride. Never riding on a full bladder.
So, yeah.
And Alabama roads.
Whew. Good point.
It's gonna be rough, brother.
Make sure you don't you don't have to use the restroom. You don't have any of that stuff.
Yep, we picked one of the hottest days in Alabama this year so far.
Yeah, we did.
And no AC.
Yep. So just to recap a little bit with the truck here, 1986 Mazda B2000.
Yep.
And it's statically lowered. This thing is sitting on the ground. I'll do a walk around once we're done with our ride around, just to kind of show what we're working with here. But it's statically lowered. That's all the way down with blocks, no bags, nothing like that.
Nope.
And it's just one of those things. This is a real vibe vehicle, vibe style, man. And this is the first time I've ever ridden in a lowered vehicle too. So what?
You're in for it.
It's already bouncing, man. You can feel it.
I mean, the bump stops are completely cut out except for to a 1/4 inch.
Yep.
So that I'm not hitting metal on metal. So I've got some type of cushion, but they're sitting directly on there. So tires are pressurized to 28 PSI.
Yep.
And so that's our suspension.
So right now we're just basically riding on tires then. Like, we don't have dampeners or nothing.
Nope.
Yep. This is definitely a vibe, and you can feel the bounce. I hope this comes off to everybody in the video, or they can see it. But it's like, if not, they can focus here.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be able to see the bounce. But
yeah, they'll see the bounce in our bodies.
And you daily drive this
every single day.
This is your style.
To the grocery store, to work, everywhere. Everywhere I go, unless I go with my wife or the family, then we take another car.
Right. Definitely don't need to expose them to anything that they don't have to be exposed to, right?
Yep.
And I think I recall you saying your wife appreciates that, because
yep.
This is the last resort vehicle for her.
Yep. Yep. I've offered it many times, and she has generously just declined.
Well, hey, it's not her style then, right?
Yep, it is not her style.
So what are some things that you experience with this that maybe you don't necessarily experience other than the bounce? Because you're right, the bounce is it's there. It's very noticeable.
Yeah, she ain't no Cadillac, baby. She ain't no Cadillac.
I don't really think it's all that bad though, honestly. Like,
this is a smooth road. Just wait.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm gonna get you on one. I'm gonna get you on one.
All right. All right.
You get to feel this is actually a pretty smooth road.
What's the worst thing in your opinion driving the lowered vehicle? Like, is it just when you're on a not smooth road, or is it like, what would you say is the least I mean, it's not deterred for you because this is your daily, you love it.
Yeah, this is what I love.
Something that if anyone wanted to mimic this style, like lower their car statically, what would be some things that you think are like,
I mean, you got to pay attention to the road all the time.
Okay.
You're looking for potholes. Looking for potholes, dips in the road, a bump, anything, so that you can try to get to the high side of it, whatever, so that you don't hit it.
Okay.
Bumps are a bad thing. Like potholes, they're bad.
Potholes are bad in just about any vehicle, but thinking about this, I can tell
the smallest pothole, it makes the biggest thump.
Oh yeah. You're mentioning your suspension too, so
yeah, it'll be the second time that I'm doing all the rubber grommets up front. You know, they wear out. They wear out from the bounce, from the stress, from being down.
Yeah.
But I don't mind.
It's just a high wear thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's the price to drive a cool vehicle, right?
The price of driving one of these, yeah.
It's price to drive. Let's say it this way, because everybody has their style. It's the price to drive what you want to drive.
Yeah.
And the way you.
I mean, doing it the way I did it with this truck, it's the least expensive way to do it. You know, there's torsion bars in the front, so all I did was just turn down the torsion bars to bring the front, to lower the front. I cut the bump stops out, like I said, down to a quarter, and to the back, it was putting the, I think I've got 4-inch blocks back there, or 3-inch blocks. I added an extra 1-inch block that I made myself out of steel, and then I pulled the 2 bottom leaf springs out so that the bottom plate would come up a little bit so I wouldn't be grinding on the ground.
Okay.
But still, if I have a flat in the back, I'm dead in the water. There's no rolling down the road or anything. I'm dead in the water because I'm going to be grinding in the back. The U-bolts will be grinding.
I got you. Yeah, that does present a level of uncertainty or fear, I guess you could say, like when driving. But, you know, it's kind of like, as long as, you know, I would probably not, this is just me personally, I probably wouldn't trust a shop to do this type of style on a vehicle. I'd want to do it myself because I want to know what's in my car. But I think as long as you have it built correctly, I don't think you have too much to worry about. Like, because I'm thinking about like Corvettes.
Yeah.
They don't have spare tires, and you know, if you get a blowout, you got a blowout.
I don't have a spare tire either.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
It goes underneath the truck. Your boy trying to get it in and out would be crazy.
It wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
You'd probably scrub it or something. But
yeah.
But in that same sense, though, if you had a blowout, now you said you can't drive because you'll drag.
Yeah.
You know, but essentially that just means you got to get off as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You know, and stop. That's what I'm trying to get at with the Corvette side. So I don't personally look at that as too big of a negative. You know, like it's understandable that you wouldn't want your bolts scrubbing, but that's also why I think that it would be ideal for whoever would want the style to build it themselves.
Yeah.
Because then they know, hey, if I have a flat, well, I know I'm gonna have to check these bolts after I get it.
I mean, this
back rolling.
It's super simple. Like I said, it's one of the easiest ways to lower a vehicle. Is with one of these. See, you hit the bumps. The bumps are bad.
Oh, I'm bouncing a lot more over here. I really noticed it on that bridge over there. I was like starting to talk, and it's one of those.
Oh, dude, the first 2 concrete bridges on the way to Huntsville. I come up out of the seat. Yeah, I'm riding. I'm holding on.
And as you mentioned last time, you're sitting in the back seat essentially.
Yeah, I actually customized the seat to go back 1 more notch for me. I say customized. I just altered it to get myself back a little more.
Yep.
And then from the bouncing and everything, I've kind of busted the seat down. So I sit lower.
Yeah.
I sit lower than in that seat. Nobody ever sits over there.
Until today, it's like.
Yeah. My youngest son, you know, he'll ride with me sometimes.
What does he
Nobody
think?
else. He loves it.
That's what's
But
up.
he's the one who drives Bloody Valentine, so and she's lowered.
Yep.
So he's more after me. He takes more after me.
That's cool that you got your son involved with it too, though. Like, he likes it. That's
see.
I don't.
Now I'm hitting those on purpose.
Well, don't do anything for on purpose.
Nothing, no damage.
You know, I'm just happy to experience it because it's like, how often do you get to drive around?
Yep.
In a statically lowered vehicle, you know, unless you own one or know somebody.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's a big thing. It's still a big thing, but they mainly do it to cars.
Well, I know that. Well, you say that, but I don't think I've seen one around here all that often. In all honesty, man.
Oh yeah, a lot of your Honda Civics.
I've only seen yours personally around here. And I guess your wife's, but you know, it's not really lowered either.
No.
It's just a little bit lower than probably normal.
Yeah. Now, the car we'll be doing next, Bloody Valentine, the Honda Civic. Now, when I had it, when I first built it,
with this video, it might not be next because I'm not sure.
Well, the next vehicle we did with me. Yeah. So
hopefully that
when
might
I had
be
it
out beforehand.
When I had it so slammed that the oil pan was only 1.5 inches off the ground.
Ooh.
Now with my son owning it now, we brought it up another inch.
Okay.
But only an inch.
With that, so this one is not that close to the ground.
No,
but that is definitely
and
something.
And this one has a skid plate and everything under it.
That is definitely something that you have to be very mindful of, though.
Oh, definitely.
With a statically slammed, because if you bottom out and you mess up your oil pan,
oh yeah.
I mean, a dent, probably not that big a deal, but if you knock it off or you
Bust
put a hole in it.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest deals with lowered vehicles.
Yeah.
Is having that happen.
Yeah, that could be a tragic mistake right there.
Yeah. A lot of people do the bags. Mm-hmm. I've never ridden in a vehicle with bags.
Yeah.
I have ridden in vehicles with hydraulics, and they're very stiff like this also.
I don't think I've ever been in any lowered vehicle, in all honesty. So when I say that, I'm talking this is the first lowered vehicle I've ever been in, which
it corners like a dream, man.
It feels, honestly, the bounce is there. So that's the one thing, if you don't like it, that's one thing that I say, yeah, you'll have to, either learn to deal with it or go a different route. But like, honestly, just riding here, it really feels like a solid car,
Yeah.
I could imagine like racetrack or autocrossing, like.
Yeah, it's pretty smooth.
I think about like that race suspension that, it's race suspension is this way. It's very stiff.
It's tight, yeah.
So it's like, it kind of reminds me of that, except for the bounce. But
except for the bounce.
The bounce is definitely something, so.
It keeps you awake. It keeps you awake, man. You can't. There's no falling asleep behind the wheel of this. This ain't Grandpa's Cadillac.
Now I'm trying to think here. It's like I'm trying to feel out how I actually feel riding in it here. It's like I'm not sure it's that bad. To me, in all honesty. I mean, it's not great, obviously, but like. You're talking about basically a no suspension vehicle, though.
Yes, a no suspension vehicle. And out here, like I say, out here in these Alabama roads, they're rough. Some of these roads are extremely rough.
Where's have you driven this on like better roads, or is this only an Alabama truck that you've owned? I can't quite recall.
I've only had it local here. For the 8 years I've had it, the furthest I've driven it is about 50 miles away. Okay. And all the roads are about the same.
Okay. I was going to say, like, have you compared it to, say, Tennessee roads or something like that?
I've never been up there in it. I've never been up there in it. It's not for people who like a smooth ride.
Right.
But I'm not in it for the smooth ride.
It's your style, man.
Yeah, well, luxury, I get into the wife's car. If I want luxury. Air conditioning, power steering.
Right.
But I'm in this for the bass.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the bass, man.
We don't need to play any of that just because I have to mute it, but it's like,
it hits.
You know, right?
Yeah, it hits. Then at that point, I don't feel the road.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything. All I hear is the music.
Yeah.
With all the speakers I have in here and the subs.
This is a vibe vehicle, man. That's the way I think about it. It's a vibe, but about to come up here, so I'll just kind of close it out here. But thanks for taking me for a ride, man. I love it.
Not a problem.
This is awesome. Like
anytime.
I would say my opinion on it is I like it, but I think that for me it would be a show car types thing where I'd want to leave it parked most of the time. Bounce isn't my style, but
yeah.
I will say
rattles everything apart.
I will say I feel really cool. It makes me feel really cool riding around in it. Like, this is a very cool vehicle.
Thank you.
Why that is important too, because there is a point for me saying that, mentioning that I really do think it's a cool vehicle. You don't have that much money in it in
Nope.
terms of what you bought it for. And that means, like, I say that just so it's like people have to understand it doesn't take $1 million car, which I'm sure they probably saw my car pulling in here, but it doesn't take $1 million car or a super fancy car to have fun with it. I'm like, this thing is cool. It is oozing.
Now,
like,
when I say, you know, I don't have a lot of money into it, the general maintenance, tie rod ends, you know, stuff like that,
yeah,
ball joints, bearings, I consider that maintenance. That's normal maintenance. I don't consider that into my build whatsoever.
yeah. Like,
So the build, I pretty much just have paint, you know, anything I've customized, the wrap.
so I'll throw it out here. The customization touches, I would never put any money towards that. I would put it
Yeah.
towards getting it running and keeping it running, and then make it the way you want it. That's
Yeah.
that's kind of where I draw my line. At buying the vehicle, I think if I remember correctly, $900.
Yeah, 950.
You got $950 in this vehicle, and it's like you got it running, and a lot of the stuff here I can imagine you probably did on the cheap too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
take much to make a really cool vehicle. This thing just oozes like style.
Yeah.
And it's just cool. Like,
Yeah,
and
individual style.
there's not many cars that I personally would say that to either. I know that, hey, you don't know me that long, but it's like I've never said that about many vehicles. About this is just cool. Like, it's like it is so wild. Like, I would say it's so interesting to someone like me, but I'm also a gearhead. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but
Yeah. I get a lot of looks.
Yeah.
A lot of looks, a lot of videotaping.
Yeah. Well, anyways, once again, thanks for having me again, dude. Thanks for taking
Not a
me for a
problem.
ride. And we'll see you in the next one. So.